Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can be able to draw this diagram using Autocad. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started. I will be using Autocad 21 for this demonstration. So if you're using 22, 23, 4, 5, the procedures which I'm going to show to you are going to be the same. So let's get started. You just open that AutoCAD file you have in your PC. Give it some few seconds. You open it. Then from here, for those who are using AutoCAD 21, this is how the home interface usually look like. Now you come to this option for templates, and then you choose the ACAD ISO. For those who are using 23 or 24, 25, what you have to do, there's this drop down arrow. You click on it and then you choose browse templates, and then you find another window. Then from that window you locate where the ACAD ISO template is located, and then you double click on it and then it's open. But for my case, I'll just click on it once like this. Okay, now the first thing you have to do every time you open AutoCAD, it's always the drawing unit. Always you have to set the correct units that you wanted to use. Otherwise, your drawing can just be a mess. So what you have to do, you come to this command line and then you type UN, then enter. And then you see, for our case, it is millimeters. Because that template that we have chosen, the ACAD ISO, it is preset with millimeters. It's a default units. Basically, it is preset with the metric system of measurement. And then precision, just choose 2 decimal places, okay. And then you click OK. Now you are sure that you are using millimeters as your drawing unit. It is very, very important. Okay, after confirming your drawing units, for my case, I normally don't want it to have this grid displaying on my workspace. Just deactivate it by clicking on this icon and then activate the orthogonal mode. From orthogonal mode, then you come to this icon here for the object snap. So you come to this drop down arrow, you activate the midpoint, geometric center, node, all these points that I'm activating, just do the same from your side there, like this. Then now, let me just enlarge and expand this reference drawing. Okay. We are told to use a gray paper, and then we are told to use scale of 1 into 1. The scale of 1 into 1 is here, like this. In case you want to change it, you can click on it and then you change the one you want to use. But for our case here, it is 1 into 1, like this. Now, as you can see on the screen, the cursor has a pickup box. That small box there is very small. Now, you go to the application menu, option. Let me just bring this on here. Then you go to selection, the tick box size, you click and then you drag, you enlarge it this way. If you're comfortable, then you click on OK, apply, and then OK. Now, for a well organized drawing, what you have to do, you have to use a system of layers. So someone may ask, what are these layers? So the layers, this is a system that is used to manage the visibility of your drawing elements independently. For example, if you wanted to manage the drawing elements in terms of their color, their line type, their line weight. So this system of layers, it can help you to manage them efficiently and in a well organized manner. So you go to layer property like this, and then you find this window. Then you go to the new layer option. For now, let's create layers for our center line, and then for our general drafting work, and then for our dimensions, and then for text. Then let's start from the center line like this. Then you click here. Again, for drafting work like this. Again, for text, then dimension, then for our frame outline for our A3 paper. So in terms of the color for the center line, I'm going to leave it as white. Line type, of course, it must be center line. You click on the continuous and then load, scroll. You just minimize this, scroll, and then you find center. Okay, select center, then okay. Drafting work, let me finish the center. The line weight is 0.09. Drafting work, of course, it is continuous, but the color, I will use yellow. Line type continuous. Line weight is 0.50, like this. For text, I'll choose the color of green. Line type continuous. Line weight 0.30. For dimension, I will use cyan as the color. Then for the line type continuous or line weight 0.09. Like this. For this one, it doesn't matter, I'll use any color, and then you just use white. Line weight 0.50, like this. Or you can use 0.53. Either way too can work. It's no problem, either way too. Like this. Then you deactivate it like this, close it. So for now, 0 is our current layer. Let's change our current layer to center. So this is what we are going to start with, the center. Now we go to line. Just left click once, line, like this. So now the command is active. If you can observe very well on the command line here, it is giving you instruction on what you are supposed to do. And also on the near the cursor, it's also giving us the instruction on what we can do. It's telling us to specify the first point. But at times, for your case, you will only find the instruction down here. If you wanted the instruction also to appear like mine also near the cursor, what you have to do, just press escape for now. You go to the object snap icon under the drop down arrow, object snap settings, and then you go to dynamic input. Make sure that you check this option for enable pointer input, enable dimension input where possible. Make sure these options are looking like mine. And then, okay. Now let's proceed. Just click on the line to activate it, and then now let's follow the instruction. It's telling us to specify first point. So the first one can be anyone. You just left click once, and then you give it a direction. From here, since our radius is of 65, can just approximate this line to be somewhere here. It's okay, around 200, it's fine. Click, and then you press escape. Now you zoom using the scroll wheel of your mouse. You zoom like this. Now, again, you go to line, Now you start from here, go this way. This one, just approximate. You click here like this. And then you press escape. Now let's change our current layer from center line to draft work. Now you go to cycle. Under this drop down arrow, you choose the center radius option. Now from here, it's telling us to specify the center point for our cycle. The center point is here. Radius, of course, it is 65. Then enter. Let me just expand this window for it to be clear like this. So if you want to shift the whole drawing, you can press and hold the scroll wheel of your mouse while you drag your mouse like this. You can shift the drawing to the other side. That is called panning. Now, there's also an imaginary cycle here that is acting as the outer reference point for these smaller cycles. It is 29. Having an offset distance of 29. So go to offset tool here, and then now it is telling us to specify the offset distance. Then you type 29, then enter. Then you click here, and then you bring it inwards like this. Then you click. You see? So if you are enjoying my content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, to like, comment, and share with your friends. Then press escape to come out from that command. Now we have this smaller cycle. It has a radius of 6 mm. So again, you go to this double arrow and then choose center radius. So you start from this quadrant and then type 6, enter, like this. Now, since this one, this cycle here is the outer reference of these smaller cycles, what we are going to do, we are going to move this cycle to the quadrant. Go to move, and then it's telling you to select objects. You select, press enter. Then you start from here, and then you bring it here. Like this. See? Now we are going to create multiple copies of this cycle along this path. So we are going to use the array tool. Array is here, but before you click here, first click on the drop down arrow, and then you choose the polar array. You see, even you can see from the description here what is going to give you at the end of the day. Then it's now telling us to select objects. Click here and then press enter. So again, it's telling us to specify the center point. Then click here like this. See? By default, the item it is 6. In fact, even this is what we want to use 6. So click here on close array. Now we are done from this part. Now again, we are told that from the center here, it is having a distance of 18. That is connecting us to the other center of the smaller cycle. So go to offset, and then specify offset of distance of 18. Enter. You click here, and then you take it upwards like this. Now we also told that the distance from this center, this point, up to this point here, it is 70. It is 78. Now go to offset, and then you type 78. Enter. Click, and then you give it this direction. Again, you click, and then the other distance is 37. Then enter. And then the last one is 43. So this 43 is now our center. Okay? So let's trim this line to avoid confusion. Go to trim, then click here like this. Okay, now this is our center. Now we are told that the radius here of the bigger cycle is 26. But instead of you coming to this double arrow, because since we are using center radius option, just click here. And then start from this point, give the direction, then 26, then enter. Again, there's a smaller cycle inside here having a radius of 10. Click, then radius of 10 like this. And then we have an offset distance of 8 here. That is acting as the reference. So go to offset, and then you type 8, enter, you click, and then you bring it in our template. Now, let's go to rectangle to create this shape. It has a thickness of 3. Rectangle, click, and then make sure that you give it a diagonal direction, diagonal like this, and then you type 3, enter. Now, trim, let's trim the unwanted line. You don't want this one, you don't want this one, you don't this one, you don't want this only ending. Yeah, then now before we trim this one, let's first move it to the center. Go to move and then select objects, enter. This is your base point, then destination, you bring it here like this. Okay. Now we go to trim, trim this part and then trim this part. From here, under the trim tool, come to this double arrow, you go to extend, click here and then click here to extend. Okay? Click, then here we need to trim, you go to trim this part already. Perfectly done. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Now, we are still going to use the same array tool. So, array, and then this is the object, select, then enter. The center point is here, but now it is 8 pieces. Let's type 8, then enter, like this. Come to close array. Is it? As you can see, it's perfectly done. In case you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Now, we are going to create this curve here. So this curve is having a radius of 180 mm. Now, we are still going to use a cycle, but it is we're going to use a method called the tan radius. Tan means tangent. Because here you have a tangent here, the cycle must, the curve must touch at this, the tangent of this cycle, and also it must touch at the tangent of this cycle. So go to this drop down arrow and then tan radius option like this. So it is now telling us to specify point on object for the first tangent of cycle. Our first tangent is here, and then our second tangent is here, and now it is telling us to specify the radius. So we are given the radius of 180 like this. Then press enter. You see? Perfectly done. Now let's go to trim the unwanted parts. Okay? Just like that. Perfect. Now there's an offset distance here of offset distance of 20? Yeah. So go to offset and then offset distance of 20, enter, click, and then you bring it to inner vertex. Then this curve edges, we are going to use a fillet. Go to fillet, and then now it is telling us to select the first object, but we are going to use the radius option. Click on the radius, and then type the radius of 14. Then enter the first line and then the second line. Again, fillet, go to radius option, you type radius of 12, the one we are given. First line, second line. Okay? Perfectly done. Now, go to line and then start from the corner, then you end here like this. Then you press escape. Now, this point, this one is a straight line, but it is starting from this point of from quadrant up to 78, then from 78 up to 37, up to this point here. Because here it is having a distance of 18. Let us confirm, measure, and then distance. For our case, if you are not seeing this measure, it is located under the utilities. You click on the utilities and then you see this measure. In case also you have problems there, what you do, just come to the command line, you type DI for distance, then you press enter, then you start from here up to here. As you can see, it is 18. This is how you can confirm measure. It is very, very important. Now, go to line, start from here, then disable the orthogonal mode, you come and click on it. Okay. Then go to trim the unwanted part like this. Then escape. Now let's use the offset tool. Offset, because our last offset distance we used was 20. Then just press enter. But in case yours is different, again press type 20, then enter, you click, give this again here also the same thing, click, and then come and give it this direction. Okay? And then now go to trim this unwanted. And then also I think this one is you're supposed to extend, not trim. And the little double arrow of the trim tool, extend this one here like this. So this one is what we are going to trim. No? Then change to trim and then trim this one here like this. Even this one, you don't need it. You don't need all of this. Just trim them at once to save time. See? Like this. Now we are going to use the fillet tool to create this curve edges again. So this one here is having a radius of 20. Fillet, go to radius option, then type 20, enter, the first line, second line. Again, fillet, radius option, the other one is having a radius of 12, enter, first line, second line. Fillet, radius 10, first point and then second point. Again, fillet, radius option of 5, enter, first point, second point. Again, here it's having a radius of 14. Fillet, radius 14, then enter. First point, second. You see? As simple as like that. In case you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Then, for now, this one, we don't need this one. We are going to trim. So, just trim from this part here, like this. And then, select, click, delete. Use the delete key on your keyboard. This one, delete. Also, you don't need them, delete. Also here, you don't need them, delete. But this one, let's extend it. Go to the center line, choose orthogonal mode to be on, and then you bring it here, somewhere here like this. Click and then escape. So now, let's change the angle of these cycles. So go to rotate, but first go to the restrict cursor to specified angles, make it active, and then go to the drop down arrow, and then you choose angle 30, 60, 90, 120. So select objects, press enter. So the best point you can start from the middle. Let me say you have around here, the middle of the cycle is here, and then you can give it this is angle 30 degrees, I think it is angle can just approximate, but I wanted to use a specific angle, but I will just approximate best speed. I think something like this it will be better like this. I'm not sure of the angle, but let us just approximate like this. Then I will click. Hmm? Yeah. So now let's create the dimensions. So the dimension this or not it the dimension. But before we do that, make sure you save your file. Huh? It's very important. I even forgot. Go to the application menu and then save. And then you can save it on your documents or anywhere you want it to save. But mine, let me just save it in the documents and then I have to create a new folder. Then I will put here this is an Autocad assignment like this. I'll click inside and then I'll just leave it drawing one. Then I'll save. This is very important. In case you have any question about saving a drawing file, please let me know in the comment section.